Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Skirmish, where we are about to start on the tower. This is one of the main features of Thangúlhad. I thought very important to include it. So therefore, we need to get started on it. Now the question is how big it should be. I've came up with the decision to make it 6 wide in front and work as a squashed hexagon. And that's why you see the shape of this outline that I made up here. And I chose that. I chose that particular shape. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Good, good. I chose that shape because it is a hexagon inside of LOTRO. So therefore I wanted to wait, it took me really a short amount of time to foul that up. Alright. And you don't want to make a mistake like that when you've got stone brick, because you have to go through quite a hassle in order to get stone brick. Simply because in order to get stone you have to cook cobblestone, unless you've got a silk touch pick or something like that, which I do not have. Let's see. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2. I've got this thing wrong already, don't I? Alright, 1. Right. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Alright, that's 4 times around, and then this goes 1 2. Yeah, I've definitely miscalculated that. Alright. Actually, no, maybe that is right. Yeah, actually, I think that is right. Okay. That is what I was expecting. Alright, so now... Yeah, because now the turns are happening there. And here we go. And 1, 2... And perfect. Good. And that's the idea there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore, I'm going all the way around. I'm using stone brick because that's the material it is in the actual skirmish. And when you go into the landscape and look at Thangúlhad, now in order to make stone brick, first you have to make stone, which now this floor right here is made of stone. What I did is I flattened out most of that hillside in order to make room for this. And I brought it down to stone. So you have the stone here. And I was originally thinking of doing some sort of thing like diorite or something like that for the floor. With all this stone here on this that's naturally here, I'm pretty much going to go for a stone floor. And I just can't mine stone from somewhere else to bring it here, because mining stone gives you cobblestone instead of stone. And there we go. And this is the bottom layer for everything. I'm not going to fill in all the layers here. That'll take quite a long time. But that's going to be the foundation for everything. So what I'm going to do next is start on the stairs. Now, what I did is that if you mine stone, you wind up getting cobblestone instead. So in order to get stone, you are going to need to cook it, to put it into a furnace for a while. Now before I actually get to the floor and start the rest, turning the grass area into stone, I am going to start on the fountain. And the fountain I'm going to be making out of polished granite. Like this. We'll see how that works. Now, this fountain was not designed to hold water. It's sort of some really foul red liquid. Maybe something really nasty like blood or something like that. Which, well, blood is fine when it's inside of your body and helping to nourish you, but it's really nasty when it's inside of a pool. Alright, this is... Now this is the problem about the scale I'm doing this in. Because that looks really nasty, and I can't put a centerpiece in there like I would like to. But due to the fact I'm doing everything half scale here, and the size of the blocks here, that I won't be able to do anything more. But I think just putting in the fountain here will give the idea of what's intended. And right here we will have our altar. And that's all I need the polished granite for. So now I can, yeah, okay, I got some time to start on this. I can start on this. So I want to go to the... Now I have gone through quite a number of shovels. Wow. Oh! Yeah, actually that is right. Yeah, I've gone through quite a number of shovels while working on this. Mainly because I haven't found really all that much iron since I've been doing most of my mining has been intended in order to find stone for Thangúlhad, so I haven't really been looking for good sources of iron. And I think that is all I need, because the rest is going to be hidden, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So now I have this stone here. Since I've cooked it all up, it's stone rather than cobblestone. And that's not good. And alright. Good. And we can fill this in. Yeah, right. Plenty of time before the sun sets. So I should easily be able to finish the floor here. And that'll at least get me the most basic section. Now, of course, it's going to look... Let's see... Alright, good. Well, the question is whether or not that looking like dirt there is going to look silly or not. It looks a bit silly to me, so let's fill that in with stone brick also. In the skirmish, it's on a hill. Oops. Oh well. Be consistent at least. Stone brick. I have some more. Yeah, I've got lots of stone brick here because I've created quite a bit of it between episodes, because I knew I'll be needing a lot, because I'm going to be building a pretty tall tower. And if you build a tall tower, you're going to need a great deal of resources. Now, the tricky thing is, what am I going to put inside of this? Well, I've been trying to figure out what exactly would the enemy have been using this for. Now, at first I thought it was rather silly what they did in the game, and that is have a mainly empty tower with nothing but a stair going on around it, and eventually changed my mind about it being silly, though, in that if it was there for mainly as a platform for people to shoot arrows out of and having elevation on them, then yeah, that's typical use of a fortifications tower is mainly there for a firing area, And you make it as difficult to navigate as possible because your soldiers have probably been trained in going up and down it, and the enemy isn't. And good. Now what I'm going to be putting in the center here, by the way, is not blood. I'm going to be putting lava in there. And I did find a pool of lava, which maybe I could show you that in the morning, since you don't need to see me go through the next few layers of that. As we wait for the sun to set. Alright, good. And maybe I could find some iron or something like that if we go into there. I finally found an area that I had seen during my early explorations, and I completely lost track of it. And in fact, the very back wall there, when I was making the back wall for the tower, I actually found that there's a cave opening there. And that cave opening thus pointed me to here. And this is an area I saw that has lava down, so it goes pretty deep. I thought maybe we could go down here a little bit and see if I can. Actually, if I want to do that, maybe I better have some torches handy, because you never know. Now the question is, can I get down here without too much of a problem? Good. Good. And so I want a good place so I can get back up afterwards, because that's just as important as getting down as getting back up afterwards. Alright, good. Good. And I think I need a torch right here. Ah, yeah, because this goes way down here. Ooh, well, I see some coal down there. A little extra coal never hurts. And one of the things I was wondering is whether or not this area would be good for the Way of Smiths. It doesn't look quite suitable for that purpose. I have a bucket with me, so I don't need this water here. Now the question is whether or not I can safely get down, since you have to be careful when you're near lava. At least I have to be careful when I'm near lava. I assume other people also have to be careful when they're near the stuff. Actually, I don't think I've ever reached lava before, so. But my experience in watching other people play is that a player has to be careful when near lava. Alright, so. Good. Now, what I want to do is get rid of this water. Okay, well, I got some. Is that obsidian? Now, I think you need a diamond. Yeah, it's obsidian. So, in order to get that obsidian, I am going to have to. Ooh. Let's see if I can get back up. In order to mine obsidian. Oh, this way. Alright. I am going to have to make a safer way up at some point. If you want to mine obsidian, you need a diamond pickaxe. So first I have to find some diamond stuff, but usually diamonds are around the same level as lava, I get the feeling of, so I can't be too far from that. Good. And what I'm going to do here is use lava in here. Now that's going to take some time, obviously. So I'll probably have to make a few trips back and forth in order to do that, or at least Two of them. This is rather darkish. Alright. I'll figure out something to do about that later. Good. So let's see if we can make another trip down here, and maybe we could find something that is useful, like diamonds or something like that, because now unfortunately diamonds need an iron pickaxe, I believe, in order to mine them. Well, you could use a diamond pickaxe, but sort of my trouble is I haven't found any diamond yet. Obviously that's not obviously that information isn't going to be all that of use to me. Alright, good, and let us, yeah. Alright, that's the second point of lava being taken. Good. And back up here. Assuming I can get my way. Yeah, I'll have to obviously make a more obvious path down here so that... Oh! Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Okay, that was a bit of a surprise. Now, what's amazed me is that I managed to do that without taking any damage. Alright, so now we have this in here. We could put there. I suppose unlike water, it takes a lot longer. But anyway, I thought lava there. Something that's red and something that will kill you if you're in it. That was my idea at the time. Alright, so now, next thing we need to worry about is a stairway. And that will need, the idea for the stairway is it's going to wrap around all the way around the tower, and at the same time I'm going to have to build arrow slits. Now I'm not going to build those immediately. Obviously I'm going to build those A, when I'm at a point where I can build an arrow slit, but B, also make sure that's the time when I'm here, since I'll show you my, hopefully will be a technique, because there are several things I could do in order to build arrow slits. The question is what's the most optimal. Let's see. Now I am going to need stairs, alright. Okay, so I am going to need cobblestone stairs. Actually, I'm going to need quite a lot of cobblestone stairs. Stone brick stairs, yes. Stone brick stairs, they're going to be very important for what I'm going to be doing. Okay, there's some stone. I'll probably turn these stones into bricks. Alright, good. And there we go. Now I have some stone brick stairs. What am I going to do about that? I'm probably going to have to make... In the game, they don't actually have a... They don't actually have stairs going up to it, but I'm going to do that simply because they have the hill naturally go up to it, which you're able to do in their resolution, but not at ours. So therefore, let's see what I'm going to get rid of that sheep. Now, rather than killing it, I'm going to send it over to my base, to that outpost I made last episode, and I built a little sheep pen there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using, for now I'm putting wood there, but I'm going to later on decide exactly what material I want to put under it. But to conserve stone, for now I'm going to, well, that actually has to be stone. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing two this way, then Ah. Oh. And I hear a mob somewhere. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good at all. Alright, let's do this. Ah, that's not where I wanted that. Where I wanted that is right here. And then we have here, here. And here, then we can do this, this, and we can do this. Alright. And that's the idea, is to have the stairs move in this pattern. We go up here, here, here. And it's not exactly the most comfortable pattern for stairs, but, as I said, if someone invades, you want it, it's difficult for them to get up the stairs as possible because you have your archer stationed there. Alright, well that's it for today's episode. Between episodes, I'm going to build the tower up a little bit more, get a little bit more lava, and then I'll show you what's up next. In the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft